welcome to this call. This is an opportunity call where my name is Jennifer Cobb. I'm going to be sharing just about this incredible opportunity with Plexus, if you didn't know already what company it was. And I'm going to be sharing about just a real, honest, true story of my journey and when I got started and why I got started. I'm going to share what the income looks like for me, that sort of thing. And then I'm going to be the first half of the call, and I'm going to introduce you to my sweet friend Demi, and she is going to share about her journey. And what's really kind of cool is as you're listening to us, we have very different journeys. And so it's just going to be cool for you to kind of see the difference, even from like why we started. We started for different reasons. And so if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat. I don't know that we'll get to them, but sometimes I can talk and answer a question at the same time. So I am happy to do that. Okay. So like I said, my name is Jennifer Cobb. I am a diamond brand ambassador with Plexus, which basically means that I have reached the top of the company. And so my timeline with that is I started for the opportunity. I started for the business. I didn't care about the products. I started for the business, and I started in August of 2018. Sometimes I'm like, how the heck does time fly like that? But I started in August of 2018, so almost 6 years ago. And I hit the top 1% of the company, and that is where you start earning a six-figure income 14 months into my journey. And then I hit the very top of the company just 6 months after that. So in April of 2020, into that wonderful year of 2020. But I wanted to share sorry, this light is giving me a headache. I wanted to share, just kind of why I started and what this could look like for you. I'm going to be real and honest about what this can look like for you. I'm not going to tell you that this is easy. I'm not going to tell you that every single person on this call can do this, but I am going to tell you that this is an incredible opportunity, and this business model is unmatched. I promise you, it is something that is unmatched. So before I start, I want you to think of a couple things. Number one, in your head, you can think this. If you want to put it in the chat, that's great too. But I want you to think, number one, when was the last time that you shared something that you loved? When was the last time that you told somebody about, a sale at a store, or you went to a good restaurant, or today, right? Anything. Somebody asked you like, oh, where did you get that shirt? Or where did you get your nails done? When was the last time that you shared something? That's one question I want you to ask. Keep that kind of in your head. Another question that I want you to answer to yourself is, when was the last time that you logged on to any social media platform? So it can be Facebook, it can be Twitter, it can be Instagram, it could be Snapchat, TikTok, whatever. When was the last time that you logged on to a social media channel? When was the last time that you felt tired? That you felt like, I cannot make it through this day. I'm exhausted. There is no way. When was the last time that you felt that? When was the last time that you looked at your bank account and you were like, there's just no margin. There's just no margin there. I just realized that I did press record. That when was the last time you looked at your bank account and you're like, there's no margin. I'm not going to make it to my next paycheck, or I'm going to make it to my next paycheck, but I cannot do extra things. I cannot, I know right now we are ordering soccer uniforms for my son. We are a massive soccer family, and I just placed his order and it was $541. That's not the club fees. That is just his uniforms, his required uniforms. The club fees are, I think, like $1,700 just to start, and then we pay monthly fees on top of that. And, those are things that I used to stress about. Those are things I used to have to get a scholarship for my son, because we just couldn't afford to do it. And so those are the things that I want you to think about as we're going through this call. So I started, like I said, in August of 2018. I started out of a place of need. My husband lost his job. We were a six-figure earning family. And I was able to stay home with my three boys, and that was such a blessing, but it wasn't a comfortable stay home. It's not like I stayed home and I was able to do all of the wonderful things and go shopping and spend all the money, because we were just getting by. We were okay. We were comfortable, but we were just getting by. We didn't have room or margin for extras. But all of that changed in one day on May 2nd of 2018 when my husband lost his job. He was laid off and there was no notice. This was the job that we thought he would have forever and he would retire with. And that happened in an instant. And I want to tell you that if that has ever happened to you, you feel like the exact like rug being swept from under you. If that, excuse me, guys, I'm getting over being sick. If that has never happened to you, I am so glad that that has never happened to you. But if it has happened to you, I want you to know that I understand where you're coming from. And so I was looking for just anything at that point in time. I didn't want to go back to work. There was no way I was leaving my boys. Excuse me. There's no way I was leaving my boys, and there is no way I was going back to work. And so I was on social media. So if you answered yes before when I said, when was the last time you were on social media? If you were on social media recently and you opened it up, you saw somebody sharing something, right? You saw somebody sharing something. And I opened it up this one day on July 12th of 2018. And I still believe that this was a God thing. This was a total blessing. And I opened it up and I saw my friend Marianne sharing that she was earning 6 figures. She was earning $10,000 a month drinking this pink drink and sharing it on social media. And I'll be honest, she had shared the pink drink a bunch of times. She had shared the benefits of it. And I just was not interested. I was not interested. It's not because she wasn't doing a good job sharing it. I just was like, I don't really care. I feel fine. I think it's normal to be tired. It doesn't matter. I'm sure my gut's healthy. And I did not know that that was something that I really needed. So the products were an afterthought for me. But when she was sharing, she was making $10,000 a month. I was like, that is it. I'm done. Sign me up. What do I do? We were desperate at that time. Our family was on food stamps. We were on Medicaid. We had like 3 months of savings when my husband lost his job. And that went really quickly, if you can imagine, as a family of 5. And so I started and I never looked back. And the reason why I love this business model, there's a ton, but one of the main reasons why is because it is stuff that we innately do every single day. We share things that we love. We love to help people. Maybe you're not a person that loves to help people. I'm a person that loves to help people. Like when I see somebody struggling, I'm like, okay, how can I help you? And so this gives you that opportunity to every single day be able to help other women, men, families, whoever, be able to do and achieve things that they never, ever, ever thought were possible. So I want you to know that this is something that it's not like you're going to step in and be like, oh my gosh, I'm in this sales business and now I have to learn all of this and I have to know everything about every product and all the things. You do not. I promise you that is not a thing. You don't have to know everything about everything. You just have to have a phone. You need to have some Wi-Fi. You need to have a desire or a reason to want to do this, whether it's to help other people, whether it's another stream of income, whether it's $1,000 a month extra, you want 500, 10,000, 20,000, whatever it is. You do need to have those things kind of in your interest when you are doing this, because nobody does things like just for fun, right? I do this now because I love it and it is my passion and it is my desire to help other people to do it. But this is an opportunity that you can take as far as you want to go. I promise you, it is not hard, but it is something that you have to work at and you have to be consistent at. And I will tell you, no, not everybody can do this. Not everybody can do this because some people want a lot for very little. And this is something that you will give to, but you can do it with a full-time job. You could do it with a part-time job. You could do it as a stay-at-home mom. You could do it as somebody who is single. You can do it no matter what your situation is. You can absolutely use this as a tool to raise your income. So let's talk about the income just a little bit, because obviously that's why a lot of you are here. So I started, like I said, out of a place for survival. I needed to make about $5,000 a month for us to be able, 5 to 6,000 for us to be able to continue the lifestyle that we had before my husband lost his job. Okay. And so that was my only real goal. I was like, once I can do that, I won't have fear of like losing my house or losing my car or having my kids not be able to eat, right? Because that was really important to me. And so that was my initial goal until I realized how many other people needed the same thing that I needed, until I realized that there was other people out there. There was people that I didn't even really know. The people that I really started with were pretty much strangers that I met on Instagram. And, I want to say this too. You can, and Demi's going to talk more about this. It doesn't really matter where you start, like what your platform is. Some people do it with just a huge warm network of friends on Facebook. I happen to have a decent following on Instagram where I was focused solely on home decor. And so I did tap into that market, and that is where I found other people who were trying to go the influencer route. And that's just a route that is much harder than the network marketing model. I will tell you that with 1000% certainty. There's so much more hope in this business model than there is in that business model, if that's something that is of interest to you. But I just continued to help other women when I realized there were so many more out there. As I continued to help them, I just kept making more and more and more money. I just kept growing my business exponentially to the point of 14 months in making that $10,000 per month. I had hit that 6-figure income. And it was at that point I was like, well, I am not stopping. I am not stopping, because that would be not fair to the rest of the people that I knew in my life or that I hadn't even known yet, to let them know about how incredible this opportunity was. So I just kept going and going and going. And I hit diamond, which means nothing to you if you're new on this call. But that is the tippy top of the company. And I hit that in April of 2020. And I was consistently making at that point in time pretty much between like 25 and 30,000 per month. And I know that's where probably a lot of people, that's where your guard goes up a little bit in your head and you're like, no, I don't believe this stuff. This is not true. And I would have thought the same thing. And I know you probably don't know me, but I do. I'm telling you exactly what I have done and how much I make. And now I am 6 years in, and my last couple of paychecks have been around the $45,000 a month range. And that is life-changing income. And my goal is not set out like I need to, hit 50 or 55 or 60,000. Even though there are people on our team that do make that amount of money as well. I'm not the highest earner on our team. But also, why not? Like, why not? Why stop yourself there? There's so many incredible things that you can do with that kind of money. And that's between you. Some people, you do charity work. Some people just like to give to others or help others, and so whatever your desire is. And if that sounds like an exorbitant amount of money, that's what it did to me. Just focus on what you are looking for. So it could be 5,000, 4,000, whatever the case. So I am an open book. If anybody has any questions for me, please ask me. I do want to say this too, that when you get started, you would simply just start on whatever products. That's your only investment into the business. It's a $9.95 for the whole entire year. That's what gets you access to your website, your referral link. There's really no risk to me in spending $9.95 for an entire year. But also you're going to be able to try some really incredible, life-changing gut health products. We have a new detox product, energy products. Everything is all clean and very well sourced. So you will get the health benefits as well. And you're going to want to share the products because they will make you feel so incredible. I'm literally drinking a drink right now. But that is all you do to start. And then you would join our team, and our team is here to help you. We have resources like this very Zoom right now where you could get people on who are interested, because you're probably sitting there thinking, I can't explain this business. I'm just getting started. So you would put them on a call like this. We have a call that specifically talks about the products and what that looks like. We have a call that helps your customers who are just getting started on their products. So it's really a simple system. I'm not saying it's easy to do, but it is a very simple system that you can just plug and play. yourself and your team members into as you get started. But I just encourage you to keep an open mind, and any questions that you have, I really am an open book. I can type in the chat while Demi is talking as well, if anybody has any specific questions for me. And thank you for bearing with my cough and our login issues. And I'm just so happy that you are here. Now, I want to introduce you to Demi, because Demi's story is very, very different from mine. I was actually introduced to Demi by a customer of mine, a longtime customer of mine. And so that's just the cool part too, is you meet people. I would never have found Demi on social media. She never would have found me on social media. But we were connected through a customer who she was friends with. And so you're going to hear how Demi started for the product. She didn't start for the business. And then kind of just how her journey was very different than mine, but we've ended up at the same place and we have become incredible friends. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Demi.
Hello, everyone. Okay, I'm not going to be too long tonight because I want to keep you guys here for too long, but my name is Demi Shaw. I am a diamond in the company, which is the tippity top that Jen was talking about, the less than 1% in the entire company. And I know you're probably looking at me and you're like, wow, I don't know if I could ever be at the tippity top of the company. I remember thinking the same way about Jen. When I first met her, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be anywhere near her. And I just want you guys to know there is nothing special about me. There really isn't. I just one day decided I needed the products, got started on the products. I was in a horrible place in my health. And 3 days into taking the products, I felt such a shift in my energy. And I'm just like mind blown at day 3, like mind blown. But I was a stay-at-home mom to 2 kids, and I was not interested in the business. Jen was planting some seeds, but I was just like, and so I just continued taking the products because that was my ultimate reason of starting. Was I real desperately needed to feel better, and that was all my mental capacity could like take care of at the time. And then come January, I started in October, and then come January of the following year, I was just like, oh my gosh, I am feeling the best I have felt ever. Really, I've always been a sleepy person, but I was having energy left and right. I didn't need naps anymore. I used to have to take naps all the time. And I found myself not needing naps. And I'm just like, these products, it's a gold mine. Like, we are sitting on a gold mine because there are so many people out there that are desperately looking for answers. And I found something that was a more natural approach, which is what I really wanted. And I'm just like, more people need to know about these products. They really, truthfully do. And so because of that, I was like, there's so much opportunity in that, because no one I knew was taking the products. And so I was just like, people need to know about this. If it's helped me this much, I know it can help others the same way, if not more. And so that is why I personally decided to take on the business. Jen, I remember one day she planted the seed again, telling me about the business. And I was like, Jen, there's just no way I can do this business. There's no way. I'm a stay-at-home mom to 2 kids. I have to do my wifely duties. I got to clean my house. I was like, I can't start a business. And then I remember her specifically telling me, she's like, Demi, there are women making 6 figures, more than 6 figures, who have 7 kids and they're homeschooling all 7 kids. If they can do it, you can do it. And honestly, it was a light bulb moment for me, because I'm like, I really have no excuse. If you truly want something and you want to change your family's life, you find a way. There's no ands, if, buts about that. And I was desperate. My husband, so I want to give you guys a little bit of my backstory. We both graduated from the United States Merchant Marine Academy, which is one of the federal academies. And we were sailors. So we sailed on ships half the year. So when we graduated, we were both gone sailing on different ships. We barely saw each other. But when we did, Mama got pregnant. And so I had to stay home. So he was sailing and I was at home. And that's when my health really took a toll, because I was raising 2 babies half the year all by myself. I was exhausted, all the things, surviving. And I remember I was like, something's got to change. And so he went shoreside, which was better, but we had to take a massive pay cut because of that. So our lifestyle had to change. from going from sailing half the year to shoreside, working a normal 8 to 5 job. And I had the taste of freedom, because when my husband was home from sailing, he was home. There was no one calling him. There was nothing he had to do, nothing to show up for. When he was off, he was off. And then when he was gone all the time, the whole time. But that freedom is what I chased. And I saw Jen in her freedom that her family had. Her husband was home all the time. They were home. They were able to do all the things they wanted with their children. And I'm just like, there's no reason why I can't have that too. My husband, shoreside, he was still gone all the time. Like, I still don't understand how people live the 8 to 5 grind Monday through Friday, every single day. Because when you have that taste of freedom, you cannot let that go. And we had that taste, and we could not live the corporate life. And so I'm so glad this opportunity was presented to me, because I wanted that freedom back, and I wanted it back so badly. Even though I stopped dreaming, and Jen was like, if they can do it, you can do it. That is when my light bulb went off, and I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it. I had no network. I was, like I said, I was a stay-at-home mom. Before that, I was sailing. When you sail, you lose communication with the outside world, because you have no internet on board. You just lose all sense of what's happening outside of the ship. And so I lost a lot of acquaintances, friends, it's just, I lived a totally different life. And so when I became a stay-at-home mom, all my focus was surviving and my kids. That's it. So I didn't have a massive social media presence. I didn't have an Instagram following. I just really loved the products, and I really needed the opportunity, and I really wanted that freedom, that I wasn't going to take no for an answer. Like, I was going to figure out a way to get my family where I wanted it to be. And so for 2 years, I worked this business every single day. No excuses. I woke up and worked the business. I let my laundry pile up. I let the dishes pile up. I mean, those were short-term sacrifices, because I have built an incredible income for my family. So I'm currently making about $25,000 a month, started from zero, stay-at-home mom making $25,000 a month. My husband was able to quit the job where he was on call on the weekends, worked all week from 7 to 7. And now he has a job where he works fully remote, and he has the work-life balance. If he needs off, he can take off. He can help with the kids because we're all home all day. He kind of has a job like my job. He has the freedom to kind of do what he pleases. And it was because of my income that he was able to take this pay. It was a pay cut. So he took another pay cut for this job, but it gave us the freedom that we've always wanted. And so that is why I am so passionate about this business, and I want everybody to know that you also can do this. It doesn't matter like where you were in your past. It doesn't matter how many people you know. It doesn't matter the following you have. It honestly and truthfully doesn't. If you want more for your family, you have every opportunity and possibility to make that happen. It's just a decision that you have to make inside your head. And I made that decision 2 years ago, and I don't regret it for a second, the sacrifices that had to be made, because we are living the life we've always wanted, and we're continue to build, because my ultimate goal is to retire him early when he's ready. He's not ready yet, but when he's ready, he's going to be retired, and we're going to still have this income and the freedom of location that we always wanted to make the decisions that we want. But don't mistake my freedom for not working, because I do work very hard. This is a job where you have to work, you have to show up, you have to be consistent, but I get to choose what that looks like for me and my family. And that's all we've ever wanted, was the freedom to choose where we are, the location, the time. If I had to go do something with the family, I'm able to do that. I don't have to call out of work. I don't have to take PTO, none of that. I did not want any of that. And this has given my family everything we've wanted. So that's it. So if you guys have any questions, I don't know if we have time for questions. Jen will be able to tell me that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a couple of minutes. Does anybody have any questions? If you want to put them in the chat, we can we're open books, you guys. Yeah, there's like nothing that we won't tell you. Like, we're not going to sit here and say, oh my gosh, anybody can do this. You don't have to do anything. It's so easy. How do you get started? I love that question. Okay. So how do you get started? So simple. Okay, so you literally just contact the person who invited you to this call tonight. And you are going to say, hey, I am ready. I want to get started. And they will get you set up with your own link. So you'll be able to sign up. You'll get your own website, your referral link, all of that. That's literally $9.95 for the whole year. And then you will pick a welcome bundle, wellness bundle that will actually just get you started on your journey. That's it. It's just ordering products. So we're talking energy drinks, vitamins, probiotics. You don't have to go and place hundreds of dollars worth of products. You're just going to order one wellness bundle and that will get you started. And then you're going to go like immediately, like you can make money this month. Within the next 4 days. Absolutely, without doubt. So go ahead and message whoever invited you here. How do you get people to join you? Simple, you just share. You just share. Like you think of people too, because it's one thing, like you can get on social media and start sharing, but my first three, Demi, share your first three. My first three I did in 1 hour. I just messaged like my people, like the people I do life with. I always say, like, go to your text message. Who are the last three people you texted? Those are the people. You don't have to go to social media. I just went to them. I signed them all up, gave them my referral link. And in my first hour, I started the business. I earned my 300 whatever dollars. What was yours, Demi, your first three?
My first three was my best friend, my husband, and my cousin. So people that I was very close with, when I told them about it, they're like, oh, and how do you get people to join you? It really is just confidence and posture. There was no wavering in my confidence with these products in the business. Like once I knew the products were incredible, which they are. You don't need to wait for that because I can tell you right now, they are incredible and people are going to love them. But I had no wavering in that confidence and posture. And then when it came to the opportunity, when I made my first paycheck, I was like, game over. All I got to do is keep going and I can go to the top. And so I just showed up every single day with that to show people that it's an amazing opportunity.
It's exactly, it's just natural. It's just naturally letting people know. And once you get past that part, you'll be fine. Okay, Taylor, do you recommend trying the products first before starting the business? No, not at all. And here's why. At the end of the day, this is a business. This is my full-time job. I don't even think I said it. Demi said it, but my husband is retired. He is home. He retired, I don't know, I'd have to yell out the door and ask him, I think 3 years ago. He is home. We just bought our dream home last year. All I wanted was a porch, and I got a huge porch in a neighborhood that I love, that I always wanted to live in. And he's home, and we get to do our life with our kids every single day. Our 3 boys. And so you don't have to start the products. You do need to take the product or order the products. You don't even have to take them, but I would, because they're amazing. But you don't have to share necessarily your experience right off the bat with the products, because also, Taylor, like I'm just using you as an example, you might start for gut health, but the first person that might be interested wants weight loss. So technically your results with gut health mean absolutely nothing to the person who wants weight loss, or the person who's struggling with anxiety, or maybe they have a child with eczema. Right? So you're not going to have to necessarily use your testimony to be able to help that person. But we do share our testimonies, because somebody might be looking, like mine was collagen for hair. Like that's like my biggest testimony. And I was able to share that with people. And I've gotten a lot of people on the collagen because of my testimony. So it does help, but it's not necessary. Anything to add to that, Demi?
Yeah, I regret not starting because I did see crazy results after 3 days. So like I should have like started sharing then. I just wasn't in a place in my life to start this. And so just because I wasn't at a place to start it right off the bat doesn't mean, Taylor, for example, that you're not. Jen, when she started right off the bat. And so it does, like, it kind of just depends on you and your personality. But you're on this call for a reason. And so I'm gonna say you are ready to get started, and you borrow the belief from the person that joined you joined with, you borrow their belief, because I have seen these products work for thousands and thousands of people and way different than my results. So like, why would I ever wait to help someone with autoimmune to see like my results with weight loss? Like, it just doesn't make sense. And so I never want you to sit on something that could potentially help someone, just to kind of see where you head with your results. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like a restaurant, right? Like if I were to refer a restaurant, I may have gotten the filet mignon, but they may go and they're going to eat the salmon and they're going to love the salmon. And I loved the filet mignon, but we ended up both just loving the restaurant. And so it's very similar to that. Like, that's just an analogy to think of it. You know, there's so many different health issues and problems to, to help people with. Like, I've helped people with psoriasis. I don't have psoriasis. I've helped people with eczema. I don't have eczema, and so, oh yeah, it's like going to the movies too. Like, this is another analogy. When you go to the movies, you're not going to go alone, right? I always use the gym too. If you go to the gym, you're not going to be like, hey, best friend, I'm going to join the gym. I'm going to go for 3 months every day. And if you see that I have results, like, then you can start coming in 3 months. I don't want you to come with me now. I want you to wait to month 3. It's like, no, we're going together. We're going together. Maybe you're going for weight loss. I'm going to build muscle, whatever the case. We don't have to be going for the same reason, but you want to go together. And that's what I was talking about. Like, these are innate, like, I feel like these are things we are born with, right? We're born to share things. I'm sorry if we have men on here, you're amazing. But like, as women, we are professional sharers. We share things all the time. If I went on my stories today and I was holding this water bottle, I would have 1 million people ask me where I got that water bottle. And I would be so happy to tell them. You feel good. You're like, oh, I found it. I know people are gonna love it, and so it's like, that's just the way that we are. And so this is such a natural thing to do. It's just a better business model than like getting on Instagram and trying to be an influencer and making pennies for every purchase that somebody purchases from your link. With Plexus, you make the bare minimum from your link, $30 to $40. The bare minimum when somebody purchases one time. They order every single month, and you get paid every single month that they order. And so it just makes so much more sense. It's so much more lucrative. It's fun. Like, we have fun. I know you can't probably get that vibe yet, but like, we're fun. We just got back from Vegas. We had a great time. We can go on trips. If that's your love language, there's trips and prizes and all that things. That was not my love language. But if that's your love language, you do get to tap into that as well. But for me, it was just income. I was like, I need money. We need to survive. And so, everybody's going to have a different reason for wanting to do this. So any other questions? Those were great questions. I love questions. Those are so good. And if you do have any other questions, definitely ask the person that invited you here. Message them right away. And even if you're like, I don't believe those girls, or that's crazy, there's no way they're making that kind of money. Like, go to the person that invited you here with that sentiment. Let them know that, because it's okay. It's okay if you feel that way, but we are just so grateful for you being here and for dealing with our technical issues as well. And my coughing, I apologize. We just got back from Vegas and we were in an ashtray, as Marianne says, for a week, and I could not breathe. And so it stuck in my lungs for a while. That was the coughing. I apologize for that. So that's all we got. Demi, anything else to add?
No, I think we've covered it.
Thank you guys. Thank you for coming. And we hope to see you at our next Zoom. Ask when our next Zoom is and we'll let you know. Have a good night, you guys.